So welcome back to In His Mind. I I'm redoing the video that I did yesterday because I'm not satisfied with how it turned out, and it really ended up bothering me to the point where I was just like, look, I need to start over. I need to try to get this right. I need to put a little bit more into it, but not necessarily raise my voice because that just comes across as angry. That's not the case. I want to say that everything revolves around for this channel revolves around the different point of view, the different aspect that I understood and pretty much learned from. Now, there was a being in my life, and I did talk about it briefly, but I do need to actually dedicate an entire video for him. It He was not wanted in my life, but he was there nevertheless. Now, from around 2007 and 2020 was roughly 13 years. And he was gone for probably like 2 years worth of that too. So he wasn't around like the whole entire time, but he was still there for over a decade. And this is obviously awkward just because it just, there's no easy way of talking about it. However, I've learned things and I've seen things that I've never learned or seen anywhere else. And it always made me worried just because it's like when I talk to other people, I was like, well, what do you think about this? And I would ask them other specific questions. It it made them uncomfortable. It caused drama, it caused issues and problems, even though I never tried to actually cause any. I had genuine questions that I tried to ask. I can't think of anything right now just because this was years and years ago. I just learned to simply look for the answers rather than just simply ask other people the answers. Just because I knew I wasn't going to get anything back. Like, no matter where I was at, I would always get the same thing about, like, well, we don't know. That's a very good question. Let's talk about it later. And later would never come. Ever. Now, I think some of these questions do not have definitive answers, and that they require an understanding. They require a process. Understanding is one of the parts of the process as far as what it could take in order to figure out, to find out the answer, to understand the answer. Because sometimes you're not going to understand without doing some digging yourself and putting some effort. You know, it's like handing someone a vehicle and never showing them how to learn, how to drive it, or giving them a weapon and expecting them to know how to fire it. It's not the case. Now, why the channel matters is pretty much wrapped up in the things I learned, the things I saw, and understood from the being who was in my life. I have a nickname for him, but it doesn't really feel right going into him right, for this video. But yes, the entire channel does hinge upon that, in his mind. And yes, originally the channel was meant to be very dark, but not in an evil way, just in a way to just try to hide. Maybe I'll get there one day, when I'm actually able to afford being able to hire more people, pay for more effects for the videos and all that. Right now it's just me and my phone, just recording and uploading videos, and then my laptop too, where I can actually do a little bit of editing for other more serious videos. Now, I just want to say that the one thing that you'll never get here that you'll probably have seen and experienced in other churches and all that is the whole echo chamber, repeating the same ideas, the same thoughts that everyone else does. I don't cover the same material. I don't teach the same material. I'm not a teacher, but I do know some things that have taken time to figure out how to explain and talk about, especially here on YouTube with the whole censorship and all that. If I ever try to get monetized, that will actually come into play. Right now, that's not even happening at all. I just am not nearly as popular as other people. I'm not aiming for being popular though. I think if I was to focus on, reaching as many other people out there as possible, I'm just going to get sidetracked and focus on how many people are watching rather than the content of the video and all that. But yes, some of the stuff really matters. I'm genuine and always have been. Now, if I'm biased, which I am in some areas, I go into it and I talk about it because the stuff matters. And even though you may disagree with me in some parts, this content should still give you some thought provoking questions and points that you shouldn't just simply dismiss just because it goes against what you believe. Now, I will try to never throw something out there and not have any points to back it up or have it be unfounded. It just does not look good, it doesn't sound good, and frankly, how do I put this? It doesn't have the same impact as actually bringing something that is supported. I guess in other words, speculation does have a time and a place, but I usually tie them to specific topics. I don't try to just let it be as it is. Alright, until next time.